Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this second video regarding the Tableau tool. In the first video, we have gone through this data source functionality, and we have experimented with all the wrangling functions that are provided by Tableau. There's one more function in which we can do the union of different data sets. So we'll be doing that later on. So if we click on this sheet one, so we are getting this view. So the Tableau view here. So the show me is going to show you all the charts that are there. Unlike Power BI, we don't have the option of a marketplace which can update the charts, but all these charts are enough to satisfy the needs of a number of use cases, and that's why Tableau has been pretty successful up to now. So in this left pane, we have the attributes, which are divided automatically into dimensions and the facts, obviously, or the KPIs. Okay. So just a bit about the options that we have. So I can actually, these are all the logistic options. So I can export my work, the Tableau worksheet, or the Tableau project according to the version that I want. So currently the version is this one, but I can export that into any previous version that I want. So that's what it means here. Packaged workbook basically means that the workbook might be connected to different Excel files, CSV files, or some other documents that are feeding data into Tableau. So typically, when I save this project, so the whole the connections to those external sources also get saved. Okay, but when I do an export of a packaged workbook, then it basically creates a copy of the external sources, because we don't want everyone to access those external sources, which are automatically connected to this worksheet by default. So if we want to disconnect this worksheet from the sources, so in a packaged workbook, we create a copy of those external sources and then package it together and then export that. I can also export this as a PowerPoint, and I can import workbooks. The locale actually is dependent on the language. So Tableau automatically detects your locale. If it does not, then you can actually, tell it which locale you want to work with. For example, you want to work in French or Spanish, so you can change the locale. Okay. I can search the attributes here through this search, and I can filter them here. This is not a filter like this filter. So just as a typical filter like we have in Excel. And this is view data. So I can view the data is going to give me a snapshot of the data here. So what the data is like, or I can also go back here and view the data. In the data tab, okay, so that's pretty simple. So I can add a new data source if I want, and then I can merge these together through a union. This is the worksheet tab. So typically I have this sheet, which is called the worksheet. So this I can create a new worksheet. When I have several worksheets, then I can put them together in a dashboard. And when I have several dashboards, then I can put them together as a story in this story tab. So Tableau has basically three functionalities. It has a worksheet, it has a dashboard, and it has a story. And we know that these things are not available, at least in Power BI desktop. Maybe in other versions they are available. So this makes it very convenient. So this basically confirms what I have been teaching to the students all the time, that this is what we need to do. We need to tell a story at the end, which is all connected together. So Tableau helps me do that very easily. So in the dashboard tab, so I have these, because I don't have a dashboard right now, so none of these options are there. So it's automatically add phone layouts to new dashboard. So it's going to show me that later on. So I can also create a story. So as far as the analyses are concerned, so we have the basic analysis, like I can configure the stack marks on the charts, percentage of totals, any special values that I have computed. So I can configure how I see the table, etc. So I can create a calculated field, which we did in the last video. These are options about the maps that we will be using with this data set as well. So this is the basic formatting. These are the basic formatting options for the components of Tableau. For example, workbook, they create a workbook. So these are all the formatting options for workbooks. So if I mess something here, if I change something here, so it's going to apply to all the workbooks in general, or to at least to this workbook, it's going to apply in this project. And then I have I have these specific options. I have the options for the animations. So I can configure these specific things as applicable to, all the charts, default, total, grand. So if I want to change something across the whole workbook, then I can actually change it here, and it's gonna apply to all the relevant places. So for example, I have the title and caption, so how should they look, etc. So we can use this later. Highlighters is when we highlight one specific number or one specific part of a chart as compared to the other one. So I can highlight that. I have different themes here, but I'm sticking with the default one right now. These are options for the Tableau server. The Tableau server actually is like the is situation when we exported our Power BI dashboards to the or to the server on the cloud. So Tableau also has a server. So if you want to publish all this work online, so we have to do that through the server. And this all for that we might need to install this bridge client as well. So these are the presentation mode, and although we have not as yet into the presentation mode, and this is the help feature. So these are the options as far as the menu items are concerned. Regarding the what we have here is show me actually shows me all the charts that I've already told you about. In this above menus, I can go back. This is the undo and this is the redo button. This actually is going to give me the initial view of exporting different data sets if I want, or I can simply add a data source here, something like that. So if with this icon, I can choose to pause the updates because Tableau is supposed to automatically update the chart based on the external sources. So I can pause them here. This creates a new worksheet. I can also do the same like through this button. This duplicates, which is very much needed when you are solving one particular problem through BI. This chart will clear everything on the worksheet. This button will clear everything on the worksheet. These two buttons will flip very easily for you, rows to column and columns to rows. This button is going to sort. This is for the highlighting one. And if I want to fit something, through width or height or the entire view, so it can stretch the chart accordingly. Okay, and then I can choose to what I want to see. I can just select here, and this actually I think should be the presentation mode. Yeah, this is the presentation. As far as analytics are concerned, so Tableau allows me to have some statistical analysis about my data. So I can have this. I can put a constant line, an average line, a median with quartiles, a box plot, and I can have some totals to show totals. So these are all the summaries that I do in Python, for example, during wrangling, the box plots and the quartiles one, and I can force the chart to put an average line for comparison. As far as the model is concerned, so I can have a trend line, a forecast, which is actually a time series forecast, and I can also cluster the data. So that's somewhat data science here. So we'll have to experiment with all of these to understand them. And these are some distribution band and reference band. So these are analytics. We don't use all of them. We are mostly interested in the trend line and the forecast, or maybe even the constant line and the average lines, or the median with quartiles line. But with this average with 95% confidence interval or median with the same CI, we'll have to see how we use that. I don't think so that's used very a lot. Okay, but we'll have to at least see the forecasting feature, how that happens. So thanks for watching this introductory video for Tableau layout. We'll next move on to the pages.